My voice is audible to all of you. We will continue our last topic, which was inverse trigonometric functions. And today you also have a test of maxima and minima. Okay. So this we have already done. Yesterday we have done the graph of tan. Okay. So let let us start with cot. Okay. Okay. So next graph is this is fourth. This is x is equal to cot theta. So who can tell me for which angle the chord is not defined? Abdur Rifat, can you tell me for which angle the chord is not defined?
So cos 0.
Very good. Chord 0. Okay, because chord is caused by sine. Sine is 0 for 0. So that's why this is not defined for 0. So we will draw a dotted line for 0. Next for pi. Okay. Next for 2 pi. Next here, this is for minus pi. Then here, this is for minus 2 pi. Okay, minus 2 pi. Okay, so cot is 0 for which angle? Cot is 0 for which angle? Anyone?
90.
90 degree, very good. So we will write here pi by 2. Similarly, here we have a 3 pi by 2. And here we have minus pi by 2. And here we have minus 3 pi by 2. Okay. So draw the graph like this. Similarly, like this. Like this. Like this. This is a graph for x is equal to cot theta. Who can tell me the domain of this?
So R.
R. But this does not exist for 0, pi, 2 pi, 3 pi.
So R minus 2n plus 1 pi by 2.
Yes. Abdur, we will write R minus n pi. Okay. Because we don't need here pi by 2. We have to remove the pi term. So 0, pi, 2 pi should not be included here where n is any integer. Okay. So the domain is R minus n pi. Who can tell me the range of this function? Who can tell me the range of this? No one?
So minus pi by 2 and pi by 2.
The complete range, if you will see here, the range you will get on the y-axis. So this is your complete range. So complete R. Good evening, Zed. My voice is audible, Zed?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, so this is your range, which is R. Okay, just see the y-axis. From this graph, you can see the complete y-axis is present on the graph. So the range is R. So is it clear? Abdur, Rifat, and Zed? Okay, Rifat, good. Abdur and Zed, is it clear?
So can you explain the range?
Yes, range. Please check here. Please check the graph. Okay, range you will always get on the y-axis. So please check here. This graph is from plus in here from plus infinite to minus infinite, or we can say from minus infinite to plus infinite. So complete R is there on this graph. Okay, if you will see, if you will take a point here, then for this point you have a graph here. For this point you have a graph here. So that's why the complete R is the range. Is it clear, Abdul?
Yes.
Okay, very good. Now fourth one, theta. Theta is equal to Zed, we have just started this, okay, because yesterday we have done the tan.
Yeah.
Okay, so right now we are doing for cot theta. Okay, so first of all, we will draw the graph of this. So whatever you have on the y-axis that come on the x-axis. Okay, so what you have on the y-axis, this complete R. So okay, what you have on the okay. Now who can tell me what is the domain or what is the range? What is the range for cos? Cos inverse, sorry. What is the range for cos inverse?
So r minus n pi.
No, for cos inverse. Please turn your page. Yesterday we have done
So
the range
0 to pi.
So
0 to pi. Yeah, that's correct. Okay, so the tips to remember these formulas is match this cot with the cos. Okay, so for the cos you have for the cos inverse, sorry, you have the range from 0 to pi. So please take 0 to pi here. Okay, so we will take the graph of this part only from 0 to pi. This is your principal branch. Okay, so we will draw a graph. Okay, this is 0, this is your pi, and this is your pi by 2. So the graph will be like this. Okay, graph will be like this. So I will write here, it is pi by 2. Okay. So this is your graph. Now from the graph, who can tell me what is the domain of this? Anyone can tell me the domain of this cot inverse?
R.
Very good, R. Okay, so whatever the range you have for the cot, that become domain for this. Anyone can tell me the range?
So same 0 to pi, but open interval.
Very good. Okay, so tips to remember this is write 0 to pi and write open interval. Okay. This is clear, Abdur, Rifat, Zed.
Yes.
Okay, Rifat. Abdur, is it clear?
yes.
Okay, very good. Then please note down this. Raise
So
your
the range of cos and cot are same.
no, the range are different. Okay, the tips to remember the principal branch is this. Whatever the range you have for the cos, for the cos you have 0 to pi. So we will use 0 to pi, but this 0 and pi are open interval. Okay. Is it fine, Abdur?
Yes.
Okay, great. Zed, your complete name is Zed Ahmed?
So that's the
Zed Siddiq. Okay. We will share that recorded lectures, okay, of LPP.
Cheers.
Okay. Abdur Rifat, please raise your hands once it is time. And Umair, you are again 15 minutes late. And you were absent yesterday. Please tell me the reason why you were absent yesterday. Okay. Then please check the recorded lectures of yesterday topic. Okay, we have started the inverse trigonometric function. So we are doing the graph. So 4 graph has already been done, Umair. We will start 5th and yes, yesterday we have started. So we will do the 5th and 6th graph. Okay, after that I will form a table, Umair. You need to remember that one. Okay. Okay, then everyone has done this. We will start a new one. So next fifth is x is equal to cosec theta. Okay. So this is 0. Okay, who can tell me cosec does not exist for which angle? Who can tell me cosec do not exist for which angle? Anyone?
So 90.
No, not 90. Cosec is what? 1 by sine. So sine is 0 for which angle?
So 90.
No, sine is 0
Yes,
for
sir,
0.
sorry, 0, sir.
0. Okay, so cosec do not exist for 0. So for 0, for pi, 2 pi, we will draw a dotted line. Minus pi by 2. Next, sorry, not this. Next you have 10 pi. Okay, draw the dotted line here. Next you have a 3 pi by 2 here.
So it's pi or minus pi.
Sorry, it is negative. All are negative here. Okay, so for pi by 2, what is the value of cosec? It is 1. Okay, so for pi by 2, it is 1. For pi, it will not touch this line. Similarly, for 0, it will not touch this line. For 3 pi by 2, it will not touch this. Again, like this. Okay, for this one, this is minus 1. For this one, like this.
So how do we get the curves?
Sorry,
How do we get the curves?
curve. Abdur, if you will find all the values for the angle, okay, that is 30, 60, and then you will plot all the points, then you will get this curve. So that is not possible for us to find the value for each and every angle. So you need to remember this curve. Okay. And how we get this curve, we just need to put all the angles, that is from 0 to 90 up to 360. So you will get all these points. Okay. So remember like this, that for 90 it is 1, for 0, for pi it is not defined. So these lines do not intersect that dotted one. Okay. Now, domain. Who can tell me the domain of this function?
R.
No, this do not exist for which angle?
0.
Yes, for 0, pi, 2 pi, this do not exist. So now anyone can tell me the domain? Rifat, can you tell me the domain of this function? Rifat, Abdur, Omer, Zed, anyone?
R minus pi by 2.
No, not pi by 2. R minus. For which angle this do not exist? For 0, pi, 2 pi, 3 pi, 4 pi, so on. So
N pi by 2.
n pi, very good. Okay. So we will write it is R minus n pi. Okay. What is the range? What is the range of this function?
So R minus 1 to 1.
R minus 1 to 1. Very good. So all of you, please check here. What is the range of this function? This comes from minus infinite. Okay, this is minus infinite. From minus infinite to minus 1. Minus infinite to minus 1. Okay, minus 1 included. Then it is from 1 to infinite. So one of the way to remember this is like, one of the way to represent the range is this, or you can write like this, R minus, if you will see, if you will see this graph, then this portion is not a part of a graph. So minus 1 to 1 is not a part of a graph. You can see here for this one, minus 1 to 1, you do not have any graph here. Okay, so what you can write, R except, but minus 1 to 1 is a part of a graph. So R except minus 1 to 1. Is it clear for everyone?
Yes.
Okay. Abdur, Umair, Rifat, is it clear?
No, sir.
Okay. Okay, Rifat, good. Abdur, please check here. This is your graph. Okay, this graph, if you will see on the y-axis, then the minimum value is, here the value is 1, and this is going upward up to plus infinite. Similarly, if you will see here, then this value is minus 1 and it is going towards minus infinite. Okay, so what is the portion for which you do not have any graph? This one. If you will see here, then minus 1 to 1, you do not have any graph. Is it correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, so that means what is the range for this? For the from complete R, remove this part, minus 1 to 1. So what we have done here, we have from this real number, we have deleted minus 1 to 1, but this should be open interval. Yes, Umair, because minus 1 and 1 is possible. Minus 1 and 1 is a part of a graph. So that's why we have taken this as open interval. So from the real number, we need to remove this value between minus 1 and. Abdur, is it now fine?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. Now we will find the inverse of this. Okay, so inverse we will get what? Theta is equal to cosec inverse x. Now everything which is there on the y-axis that will come on x-axis. So draw this. Again, here we need a principal branch. Okay, so what will happen? Domain and range will interchange. So who can tell me the domain of this?
So R minus 1 to 1.
R minus 1 to 1. Very good, Zed. Okay, so whatever the range you have here, that will become a domain. Now for the range, compare this cosec with sine. Now who can tell me what is the range for sine theta?
So minus pi by 2 to pi.
Minus 1.
Minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. Okay, this was the principal value branch.
So in here we can exclude 0.
Yes, 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 yes. Minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. Abdul, is it clear? For
Yes,
this,
sir. It is
for
for
the sine.
sine inverse, right?
Yes, this is for sine inverse. Now cosec do not exist for which angle? For 0. So inside this you have a 0. So please remove the 0 from here. Okay. So this you will get the range. Now we will draw the graph of this. So first of all, draw a dotted line. Okay. And here draw a dotted line. So angle you will write here. So here you will have a pi by 2. Okay. And here you have a minus pi by 2. So if we need to find the inverse of cosec for from minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. If you will see the pi by 2, then add this one. Okay. This value will be 1. Okay. And here we will have a value minus 1. So here this is 1 and it will go upward like this. And here we have a minus 1. Okay. And it will go like this. Okay. So this is minus 1. This is going towards minus infinite. So this is the graph for cosec inverse. Okay. So please note down this. Confirm me once it is done. Then we will do the last graph that is of sec inverse. Okay. Then finally we will form a table by which we can remember all these domain and range. Okay. So Fahad, you have just joined. You are almost 30 minutes late. What is the reason for?
Sleep.
So there was some network issue.
Sorry for.
Sleeping.
I'm sorry. Who's saying this? First, please message me on the chat box. Okay. Everyone, please note down this and raise your hands. We will do the last graph. Okay, Zed, very good. Okay, okay, Fahd. No issue. Fahd, please note down this, and I will form a table. Okay. Okay, Rifat, very good. The curve will be completed in the range of pi by minus. Yes, Fahd. So it is completing in the range of minus pi by 2, and we are not including 0 here. Okay. Okay, Zad, Rifat, Abdur, Umair, and Fahd. Okay, Abdur, great. Um, Fahad and Umair, please confirm if it is done. Okay, Fahad, good. Umair, is it done? Shall we start next? Okay, great. Now the last graph is 6 is x is equal to sec theta. Okay. Who can tell me this sec do not exist for which angle?
So pi by 2, that is 90.
Yeah, that's correct. Okay, so sec is 1 by cos. Cos is 0 for 90. That's why this do not exist for pi by 2. Here you have a 0. Then here you have a pi by 2. So draw this with the dotted. Then here you have a pi. Then here you have a 3 pi by 2. Okay, draw dotted here. Here you have a minus pi by 2. Draw dotted here. Okay. Here you have a minus pi. Here you have a minus 3 pi by 2. Okay. Now, what's the value for 0? What is sec 0? Sec 0 is what? Sec 0 degree is what? No one?
Yes,
What
sir.
is what is sec 0? Sec 0 degree. Abdur Fahd.
1.
1. Yes.
One.
Sec
1.
0. Yes, that is fine. Good. Good, Umir. Okay, so for 0, we have a 1. And for pi by 2, it will not intersect the dotted line. Similarly, here also it will not intersect the dotted line. For pi, it is minus 1. So here we will get this 1 by 0 reciprocal 1. Who is saying this? For which angle, Umair, you have sent me this message? So, okay, 6 0. Why you have written a 0? 6 0 is 1 by 6 cos 0. So this should be 1 by 1, which is 1. Okay. 1 by 0 is not defined. Now, okay, similarly for this one, you will get a graph like this. Now to find the sec, we will okay, first of all, we will find the domain. Who can tell me the domain of this?
So R -1 to 1 open into.
No, domain. This is sec theta, okay, not inverse. What is the domain of this?
So R minus n pi.
Not n pi. Please check here. This do not exist for pi by 2. So 2n plus 1 pi by 2. Okay. This do not exist for pi by 2. That's why we are writing 2n plus 1. 2n plus 1 pi by 2. Now range. What is the range of this function? Ranges, again, you can see here that this portion -1 to 1 is a not part of a graph. So R except -1 to 1. Okay. Next, we will draw the inverse of this. So theta is equal to sec inverse x. Okay. So we will draw this graph. This is 0.
So can you explain the range?
Yes. Just give me a minute. This is 1. This is -1. Okay, so for pi by 2, it will go like this. And for minus pi by 2, it will go like this. Okay. For the range, please check here that I have explained this in cosec theta, that for this portion, you can see that there is no graph. In this complete one, you can see that for this portion, there is no graph. But yes, -1 and 1 are present on the graph. So what we will do from the real, from the R, we will remove this -1 to 1. Okay. Okay, and whose doubt is this? Omer. Okay. Omer, if you will see here, then for pi by 2, this sec do not exist. Why? Because sec is what? 1 by cos. And if you will write a pi by 2 here, and you will get a 1 by 0. And I already told you many times that in denominator, you should never get a 0. Okay, so that means this do not exist for pi by 2, 3 pi by 2, 5 pi by 2. That means odd multiple of pi by 2. So how we will represent the odd multiple of pi by 2? By this 2n plus 1 pi by 2. Is it clear, Omir? Omir, is it clear? Yes, odd multiple. Why not even multiple? Because if you will write a even number, for example, 2 into pi by 2, that then you will get a pi. Okay, that's why we always say that odd multiple of pi by 2. Okay, theta is equal to sec inverse x. So domain is very simple. Who can tell me a domain? Very good, Zad. That is correct.
R minus 1, comma 1.
Very good. So whatever the range you have here, that become a domain for this -1 to 1. Now to find the range, you have to compare this with the cos. Okay, the hint you will get from the cos. What is the range for cos inverse? That is from 0 to pi. So we will write 0 to pi. But first, for which angle this do not exist inside the 0 to pi?
So pi by 2.
Very good. Okay, pi by 2. So from this 0 to pi, we will subtract this pi by 2. Why we are subtracting this? Because the sec do not exist for pi by 2. So we need to subtract it. Okay. So I hope this is clear to everyone. So please note down this, raise your hands, then we will form a table and I will tell you that how to remember this. Okay, sir. Very good. Okay, Abdur, very good. Okay, Rifat, good. Fahad and Umair, please raise your hands if it is done. Very good, Fahad. Umair, is it done? Okay, great. Okay, now we will do this. Okay, so we will write sine inverse. Second is tan inverse. Third is cosec inverse. Fourth is cos inverse. Fifth is cot inverse. Sixth is sec inverse. Okay, now you have a domain and you have a range. Okay, for this domain, okay, so whatever the range you have for these functions, that become a domain for this one. So domain you have to find on your own. Okay, there is no shortcut to remember the domain that you need to find on your own, because you will get confused in range. There is a principal branch in range. So I will give you the hint for range. So domain, sinusoidal is like this. Okay. So what is the domain of sine inverse? Who can tell me without checking in your notebook? Who can tell me what is the domain for sine inverse? Okay, I will ask one by one. Okay, please don't see in your notebook. I hope we have done the graph yesterday, so you might remember this. Abdur, can you tell me the domain of sine inverse?
Yes, sir. -1 to 1.
No, domain of sine inverse.
Sine inverse of x.
Uh, I will
R.
draw. Yes, that is. I will draw like this. Okay, I will draw a graph. This one. Then we will find out. So here the domain is for sinusoidal function. Okay, I'm right now I'm talking about sinusoidal. So domain is R and range is -1 to 1. Okay, so that is correct. Abdur and Zad. The range is sorry, the domain of this is -1 to 1. Okay, that's correct. Very good. Range we will do at the end. So tan inverse, who can tell me the domain? Please check in your
R.
note. R, very good. Okay. For the cosec inverse, what is the domain?
So -1 to 1.
R -1, 1.
-1 to 1. Okay. For cos inverse, what is the domain?
So -1 and 1.
Very good. -1 to 1. Good, Zad. Good, Rifat. For cot inverse, what is the domain?
So R.
R. Sec inverse, what is the domain?
So R -2 pi 2n plus 1.
-1 to 1. Okay. So these are the domains. So this you need to remember on your own. Okay. Now it's your choice how you make a table for this one. Okay. The easy way is compare this cos inverse with sine. So they both have the same domain. Tan inverse and cot have the same domain. Cosec and sec inverse have the same domain. So this you have to do on your own. Range is quite typical because you need to remember the principal branch here. Okay, so for the range, first of all, please remember the sine inverse and cos inverse. So Fahad, can you tell me what is the range for sine inverse? Principal value branch.
-pi by 2 and pi by 2.
Minus pi by 2 to pi by 2.
Very good. Minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. Okay. And for cos inverse? Minus
So
pi
0
by
to
2. Oh, sorry. So let me complete the tan inverse and all. Okay, so this is minus pi by 2, pi by 2. These sine inverse, tan inverse, and cosec inverse are same, almost similar. Okay, so for this tan inverse, write minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. Okay, now who can tell me? Rifat, tan do not exist for which angle? In this minus pi by 2 to pi by 2, Rifat, please check that tan do not exist for which angle? Tan theta is sine by cos. So This denominator is 0 for what? 90 degree. So that means 10 do not exist for 90. So use a open interval here. Use a open interval here. Yes, that's correct. Okay. So how you have to remember this? First, learn for sine inverse. Then for tan, write minus pi by 2 to pi by 2 and check for which angle inside this. Sorry, from this minus pi by 2 to pi by 2, for which angle tan do not exist. So that is pi by 2. So use the open interval. Cosec inverse for this also write minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. Okay. Fahad, can you tell me for which angle inside this from minus pi by 2 to pi by 2 cosec and cosec do not exist? Fahad,
So 90.
no, not 90. Yes, pi is correct, Umair, but pi do not lie in this minus pi by 2 to pi
2
by
pi.
2. No, 2 pi is also correct, but please check this angle minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. No, that's not correct, Umair. 1 by sine theta. So sine is 0 for which angle?
0.
0. Okay,
0.
please. Okay, so from this subtract 0. Okay, right close interval. So you have to learn like this, learn sine inverse. For tan inverse, write minus pi by 2 to pi by 2 and think that for which angle this do not exist. This do not exist for pi by 2, so use the open interval. Similarly for this, think for which angle this do not exist, so subtract this. Okay. Now next for cos inverse, how we will do this? Just give me a minute. So for cos inverse, remember the range. So this is 0 to pi. Again for cot inverse, write 0 to pi. Okay. Who can tell me? Rifat. Rifat, please tell me this cot inverse do not exist for which angle?
So pi by 2.
No. What is cot
So
theta?
0 and pi.
Yes, that's correct. Cot theta is right like this, caused by sine. Okay. So sine, good, Rifat, that's correct. So for, okay, sine is 0 for what? 0 or pi. So you don't need both these. So write open it out. For sec inverse, again write 0 to pi. Who can tell me next? Further. In 0 to pi, for which angle the sec do not exist? Fahad,
90. Pi by
90, very good. Okay, so
pi by 2.
subtract 90 from here. So use here, close interval. Okay, so you need to remember this table. Please learn this table. Okay, we will use this while solving the questions. Okay, so everyone, please note down this. Raise your hands once it is done, then we will start the questions. And inverse trigonometric functions, whenever you are finding the range, okay, whenever you are finding the angle, that should lie in the principal branch. So that's why you have to learn the principal branch. Okay, Zed, very good. All of you, please raise your hands if it is done. Okay, Fahad, very good. Okay, Rifat, good. Abdur and Umair. Abdur and Umair, is it done? Umair, is it done? Shall we start next? Umair, is it done? Okay, so Umair, what is your doubt? So let's say for cosec, we can input any real number except -1 and 1. What is your doubt, Umair? And our range and output will be minus, but not 0. For domain, yes, Umair, you are correct. And our range output will be minus pi by 2 to pi by 2, but not 0. Yes, that's correct. Okay. Now, we will start some questions, but before that we will do a property. So always remember, when you need to find the range of a trigonometric function, inverse trigonometric function, or if you need to find any angle in inverse trigonometric function, that should lie in this range. This is your principal branch. Here, this range is principal value branch. So please remember this. Okay. Okay, so we will see first, only first exercise is there. Yes, that only first is there in your syllabus, but in some schools, I'm not sure why they are teaching second also. So we will do both the exercises. Okay, this is a very, very simple chapter. Okay, the first property is sine inverse sine theta is equal to theta. So if you have this sine inverse, and here you have a theta, sine theta. If it is sine inverse and here you have a sine theta, then you will get a theta. But remember, the theta should belongs to the principal value branch. So the principal value branch of sine inverse is minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. So this is the first property, but the condition is this should be a principal value branch. Okay, next formula is for cos inverse. Cos inverse cos theta is equal to theta. Now who can tell me? First, can you tell me what is the principal value branch for cos inverse?
0 to pi.
0 to pi. Very good. It is 0 to pi. Very good. Okay, so next formula. Similarly, all these formulas. For example, tan inverse tan theta, this should be theta. This should belongs to the principal value branch. Similarly, fourth one. Next, fifth, and similarly, the seventh one. Okay, you will always get a theta, but theta should always belongs to the principal value branch. Okay, so all of you, please note down this. Let me know once it is done. Then we will do the proof of first property. All of you, please raise your hands once it is done. Okay, Rifat, very good. Good set. Fahad and Umair, please confirm if it is done. Fahad and Umair, is it done? Shall we start the questions? Okay, Fahad. Umair, is it done? Umair, is it done? Okay, great. So we will do the proof of first part only. The rest you can do on your own. So first one, you have sine inverse sine theta. Okay, let x is equal to sine theta. Okay, then we can say sine theta is equal to x, and this I already told you, when sine theta is equal to x, then theta become sine inverse x. Okay, so theta is equal to sine inverse x. Please don't get confused with sine x whole inverse. This is a different thing. This means 1 by sine theta, 1 by sine x. This is a different thing. Sine x to the power minus 1 is 1 by sine x. Okay, here it is sine inverse x. This is a different thing. Okay, so you get theta is equal to sine inverse x. Now, here in place of x, you can put again the same value. So who can tell me, Rifat, can you tell me what is the value of x? Rifat, what is the value of x? Rifat, please reply me on the chat box. What is the value of x? Sine theta. Good. Okay, x is, please check here. X is equal to sine theta. So right in place of this x, write sine theta. So sine inverse sine theta is what? This is x. This is the same thing which you need to prove. Sine inverse sine theta is equal to theta. We get here. Okay. So again, please note down this and raise your hands. Then we will solve question on the basis of this property. Okay, Fahad, good. Umair, Rifat, and Zed. Okay, Zed, very good. Okay, great, Umair. Uh, I guess everyone has done this. Abdur, you have just joined. So please check this proof, Abdur. X is equal to sine theta. Okay, so we have written this sine theta is equal to x. So theta is equal to sine inverse x. Okay, in place of this x, we can again write the same value. So that means sine theta. So please write here. So sine inverse sine theta. So which is equal to theta. This you have to prove. Okay. So Abdul, please take a screenshot of this and raise your hands. Then we will solve the question.
So for the other values also it is same, right?
The same thing. Okay. But please remember the principal value branch. Abdul, shall we start next?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. Okay, so we have one more property. Next is sine inverse x is equal to x. So always remember one thing. If you have sine theta and if you have sine inverse x, okay, if you have sine theta, then in place of theta, you need to put the angles. For example, 30 degree, 40 degree, 45 degree. If you have sine inverse x, then you will put those values. Okay, your domain. Here you have to put the domain. For example, sine inverse 1, sine inverse -1, sine inverse 1 by 2. Here there is no need to put the angle. Angle we will put here in sine theta. In inverse, we will put the values. These values 1, -1, 1 by 2. Okay, for example, sine theta is equal, for example, sine pi by 6. Pi by 6 means 30 degree. It is equal to 1 by 2. And if I will ask you that what is sine inverse 1 by 2, then you will write pi by 6. So with inverse, you need to put these values. Angle you will put in sine theta. Okay. So I hope this is clear to everyone. Now in this formulas, please check here that in place of x, we have to put the values. So you know that for the sine inverse, the domain is -1 to 1. Who can tell me for cos inverse? What is the domain for cos inverse?
So -1 and 1.
-1 to 1. Great. Okay. So next formula cos inverse x is equal to x. X belongs to -1 to 1. Who can tell me the next domain for tan inverse? Who can tell
R.
me? Very good. It is R. So next is tan inverse is equal to x. X should belongs to R. Okay. Next one, cosec. You know that R minus 1. Sorry, R minus -1 to 1. Next one, sec. Next one, cot inverse. Okay. So I hope this is clear to everyone. Please note down this, raise your hands, then we will do a proof of
So,
this.
so,
Yes.
so like, so sine and sine inverse gets cancelled and we get x.
This is the formula. Okay, I will do the proof of this, Abdur. Okay. So please note down this, then I will show you how you're getting X here. Everyone, is it done? Please raise your hands if it is done. Okay, Zad, good. Okay, Abdul, good. Okay, Rifat, very good. Fahad and Umair, is it done? Okay, Fahad, very good. Umair, is it done? Okay, great. Next, proof 1. Okay. So again, let x is equal to sine theta. Then who can tell me? Abdul, can you tell me what is theta then?
Sine inverse x.
Sine inverse x. Very good. Okay. Now, can we say this? X is equal to sine theta. Then can we say that sine theta is equal to x? Yes. The same thing. X is equal to sine theta. That means sine theta is equal to x. Now, sine. In place of this theta, we can again write this value. Theta is what? Sine inverse x. So in place of this theta, we can write this value sine inverse x. Okay, so this is equal to what? X. So that means sine inverse x is equal to x. You have to use this formula. The same proof is applicable for rest of the 5 inverse ratios. Okay, so please raise your hands once you noted down this proof. Then we will start the questions. Okay, Zad, good. Okay, Rifat, very good. Abdul, Fahad, Umair, is it done? Okay, Fahad, good. Abdul and Umair, is it done?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. Okay, Umair, very good. Okay, now we will start the questions. Now the first question is sine inverse sine pi by 3 is what? So let me ask one by one. Rifat, can you tell me that what is sine inverse sine theta?
X.
Rif Rifat, can you tell me what is sine inverse sine theta?
X.
Rifat,
So theta.
yes. Rifat, please reply me on the chat box, okay? We have, yes, that's correct, Rifat. Okay, so the first property is sine inverse sine theta is theta, not x. Okay, but the condition is theta should belongs to the principal value branch. So who can tell me, Fahd, what is the principal value branch for sine inverse? Fahd, for sine inverse, what is the range?
So minus pi by 2 and pi by 2.
Minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. Okay, so we will use this formula when the angle will be in the principal value branch. So check here, pi by 3 means 60. So Abdur, this 60 lie between minus pi by 2 to pi by 2 or not?
No, sir.
No, minus pi by 2 means minus 90 to 90. So 60 lie between this or not?
So yes, it lies.
Yes, it lies. Okay, so what we will get then? This is equal to pi by 3. We will directly write the answer and the bracket. You need to write the formula that sine inverse sine theta is equal to theta when theta belongs to minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. Okay, so in such a way you need to solve these questions. You have to take care that this theta lie in the principal value branch or not. So now please do the second question and tell me the answer. Okay, note down the first one and tell me on the chat box, please. Everyone, please tell me the answer on the chat box for the second one. Zed, very good. That is correct. Very good. Everyone, please check the formula for the second one and tell me the answer. Very, very good, Abdur. That is correct. Very good. Rifat,
Yes, sir.
Rifat, Fahad, Umair.
Sure.
Yes, Abdul.
So should we mention that does it lies or not in the branch?
No, there's no need to mention. Just write the formula. Okay, that theta belongs to 0 to pi. Okay, so that is understood that 2 pi by 3 lie in 0 to pi. Just write the complete formula. Who's left? Fahad, Rifat, and Umair. Very good, Rifat. That is correct. You all need to learn these angles. Okay, but what is meant by 2 pi by 3? This is in radian. So you need to learn this in degree. Or if not, then you know the method to find out this in degree. First, is it done? Yeah, that's a 120 degree. That's integration. What's that? Which integration? Which is in the second book?
Yes.
Uh, three type means there are many types in that integration. Okay, we have an indefinite, definite. Limit as a sum is not in your syllabus, but in indefinite there are a lot of types.
Yes.
Okay, Fahad, very good. So the answer, please always write the answer in radians. So it is equal to 2 pi by 3. Okay, and write the formula. Okay, Umir, 0 to pi, that is correct. That is a principal value branch. But please write the complete answer. Okay. Next, this one, third one. All of you, please tell me this answer. Or just wait. Yes, please try this one, third one, and tell me the answer. Zed, please check this 2 pi by 3 lie or not. It does not lie, then try to use the trigonometric functions formula. Okay. 2 pi by 3 do not lie in the minus pi by 2 to pi by 2. Okay, Abdur. So please try some formula here.
Sir, if it does not lie, then we have to do 0.
Then we have to do?
Like we have to write it 0.
No. We don't have to write 0. You have to change this angle into some other form. Okay. So I will show this to you. No, that's not correct, Zed. Please check here. Here you can write like this, sine inverse. Sine 2 pi by 3. Can we write this?
So pi by 3.
Yes, that is correct. Whose
Pi by
answer is this? Abdur. Very good, Abdur. It is correct. So in place of 2 pi by 3, can we write pi minus pi by 3? No, that's not correct, Zed. Please check here. Pi minus pi by 3. Solve this. Take LCM. First, can you tell me what is pi minus pi by 3?
2 pi by 3.
Again 2 pi by 3. So in place of 2 pi by 3, we can write this. Okay. And what is sine pi minus theta? I guess we have already discussed this. We have already discussed these formulas. These formulas were there in the 11th class book. No, Zad, that's not correct. Okay, we have already discussed the first quadrant, second, third, and fourth. I already told you, remember like this, all school to college. Okay, that means in the first quadrant, all ratios are positive. In the second quadrant, sine is positive. In the third one, tan is positive. And the fourth one, cos is positive. Okay, so always remember in case of pi, 2 pi, 3 pi, there will not be any change. So write sine theta here. So, okay, and this line, the second quadrant, in the second sine is positive. So we will write positive. Now please check here. Here you have sine inverse, sine pi minus pi by 3. So we will write sine pi by 3. And first, please tell me that this pi minus pi by 3 lie in which quadrant? For this pi minus pi by 3 lie in which quadrant?
Second.
Second one. Z, why it isn't 4? Okay, this line, the second quadrant. The second quadrant first, sine is what? Positive or negative?
Positive.
Positive. Okay, so we will get sine inverse sine pi by 3. Now this pi by 3 lie in the principal value branch. So now we can write this equal to pi by 3. Okay. So in this way, you need to change the angle so that the final angle should lie in the principal value branch. So I hope this is clear to everyone. Please note down this, raise your hands. Once it is done, then I will give you the next question. Okay, Zad. Okay, Abdur. Very good. Fahad, Umair, Rifat, please confirm if it is done. Okay, Rifat, very good. So is left Umair. Umair, is it done? Shall we start next? Umair, is it done? Umair, I am going to start the next question. Umair, is it done? Okay, so all of you, please start next one. Question number 4. Please tell me this answer. Or leave this. This we will do later on. Okay. This we will do later on. Next is this also we will do later on. Yes. Okay. Rest of the questions we will do later on because there are certain formulas which we will discuss. Okay. Okay. Now next one. Find the principal values of the following sine inverse 1 by 2. Okay. Now how you need to solve this question? For which angle we will get a 1 by 2? Who can tell me?
30.
30 degree. Okay. 30 means pi by 6. So sine pi by 6. So that means in place of 1 by 2, we can write sine inverse sine pi by 6. Okay. So sine inverse sine pi by 6. Who can tell me the answer? What's the answer here?
So
Pi
5
by
by
6.
6.
Pi by 6. Okay. So I hope this is clear to everyone. In the bracket, you need to write the formulas. This we will do later on. Okay. There is one formula for negative. So after that, we will solve this question. Okay. For the third one, please tell me the answer.
So 5 by 6.
Very good. That's correct. Everyone, please tell me the answer for the third one. Either tell me on the chat box or unmute yourself. Tell me this third answer.
So pi by 3.
Pi by, not pi by 6.
So
So pi
60
by
degree.
Why 60? Why not 30? What is cos 30?
So root 3 by 2.
Yes. Okay, so you need to write cos here. So it is cos inverse cos pi by 6. Okay, so this will give you pi by 6. Next one. This also we will do later on. This again, because there is a negative sign here. This also later on. All these negative we will do later on. Okay. So the basic concept is clear to everyone. How you need to solve the questions. Okay, these are the negative questions. This we will do later on. Okay, because there is a one more formula for this negative. Once I will tell you that formula, then you can solve these type of questions. Okay, so we are going to start next. Okay, now who can tell me the answer of this?
So 5 by 30.
Yes, that is correct. Okay, everyone, please check your second property. Yes, that's correct. Okay, please check your second property. Sine inverse 5 by 13. Okay, so this is equal to 5 by 13. Check the second property. Sine inverse x is equal to x when x belongs to -1 to 1. Okay, so these are the very simple questions. Now, second one, any idea for the second one? Okay, now please check here. Here you have a sine, here you have a cos inverse. So you can't apply the formula. You need to change this
So
cos
we can
inverse
change cos inverse to
into
sine.
sine. Okay, so how we will done? Please check here. So first you need to assume let cos inverse 4 by 5 is equal to theta. So you will get 4 by 5 is equal to cos theta. So that means you will get cos theta is equal to 4 by 5. Okay. Now draw a triangle. Draw a right angle triangle. Here you have A, here you have B, here you have C. It is theta. Cos theta is 4 by 5. That means, yes, that's correct, Zed. 4 by 5 means base is 4 and hypotenuse is 5. Now, what is the perpendicular? Who can tell me, Rifat? Rifat, what is the perpendicular in this case? Three. Okay, the perpendicular is 3. So who can tell me? Omer, what is sine theta in this case? Omer, what is sine theta in this case?
3 by 5.
3 by 5. Very good. Okay, perpendicular by hypotenuse. So from this, we can say theta is equal to sine inverse 3 by 5. Okay, and from this, we can also say this theta is equal to cos inverse 4 by 5. Let this be 1. Let this be 2. So in 1, we have theta is equal to cos inverse 4 by 5. Here we have theta is equal to sine inverse 3 by 5. So from 1 and 2, what we can say? From 1 and 2, we can say that cos inverse 4 by 5 is equal to sine inverse 3 by 5. Okay, cos inverse 4 by 5 is equal to sine inverse. So now we have this sine cos inverse 4 by 5. So we can write it like this, sine. In place of cos inverse, we can write sine inverse 3 by 5. Now you can say that this is 3 by 5. Okay, so this is a very, very good method to convert a inverse ratio into another form. As per the question, you can find out that. Okay, so everyone please note down this and raise your hands once it is done. Then I will give you the homework. Now we will start our test of maxima minima. Okay, so please raise your hands once it is done. Okay, Zad, very good. For the last part, yes, sure. So for what we have done, cos inverse 4 by 5 is equal to sine inverse 3 by 5. We have proved this. Okay, then we have this question, sine cos inverse 4 by 5. So in place of this cos inverse 4 by 5, we can write sine inverse 3 by 5 because we have already find out this. Now this is our formula that sine inverse x is again x. This fine for okay. Uh, then your homework is okay. I will not give you any home. Okay, so your homework is assignment assignment 1. Okay, there is only a single assignment. We will share this in the group. Assignment 1, question number 1. Okay, leave this homework. Okay, so this week, please just revise the domain and range. Learn the domain and range of inverse trigonometric function, and do the practice of maxima and minima. Okay. Next week, we will do some more topics. Then I will give you the homework. Okay. And please revise maxima minima. That's a very, very important topic. So I hope everyone has done this. So shall I share the test paper?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Just give me a minute. Okay. So 3 questions. Okay. 5 mark each. Total time is